my name's Ling, and if you can tell by the video title, this is basically gonna be my own experience about my uni life in Monash as an IC student, and how I got basically the journey life of like until I get a grad job here based in Melbourne. And I'll put out some disclaimers right off the bat. This video will be mainly about my uni life in general and less about my post-grad life really, since I'm only comfortable sharing with my uni life details at the moment. And this is probably going to be my only personal related video, I guess, in terms of my personal life. As you can see, most of my channel content is about my interests, like aka singing, song covers, or even more Genshin content in the future, I hope so. But since university is a really big milestone, I decided to just make a video about it. And forgive me if I keep looking at my laptop, like I just don't miss any main points, so forgive me if I don't keep looking like eye contact with the camera 24/7. And if there's any relevant Monash resources or useful resources in general, I'll be linking them in the video description as well. So that's that. And the target audience for the video is mainly for first years, international students, and anyone who really wants to listen, I guess. And welcome and tune in for joining this video. So there's also important timestamps that I'll be putting in the video description, so you can just like click the ones you're interested to listen to. So yeah, background. I'm from Malaysia, still am a Malaysian, and I'm a Malaysian Chinese ethnicity basically. And SPM, I finished SPM in a local government Chinese high school, and in college back in Malaysia as well, I did the Australian matriculation. Basically, it's the New South Wales version of Year 11, Year 12. I'm trilingual, English as main language, if you can't already tell, Hawaiian and Bahasa. And I enrolled in Monash University in the Klein campus in Melbourne, and I enrolled in the program called the Bachelor of IT, majored in Business Information Systems, and also minored in both Software Development and Business Analytics. Oh, this gives me flashbacks of how I perform, always mention myself in interviews. Anyways, I studied from 2018 to 2020. And yes, my final year was during the pandemic. Everything was online. And I'm currently working as an associate developer based in Melbourne as well. First year, I came here without friends, started from zero, like really fresh from zero. I was just like, you know, that lone wolf that just comes overseas and be like, yeah. I have some relatives in the Melbourne area, but personally I went to a place that was nearer to uni instead, because walking distance was just much more convenient for me, that I can just walk to uni whenever I want to. And I remember like a lot of my close friends until now, I'm really close with other ones I met in first year, first semester. So just the advice is that definitely take an opportunity, just mingle around and meet new friends when you first start uni. And although it was much more easier when I did it, because I was like, you know, in-person classes, right, and then you can just see each other, like, hey, just still try your best to like make new friends, because university, it's good to have a support friend group, because you really need them to actually survive uni. Just joking, but it's really good and it's more fun as well with your close friends. So that's my personal take. And for single degrees, I think this is specifically for the Faculty of IT students, by the way, in Monash. I think in first year you can apply for the IBL program, which is the Industry-Based Learning Placements. So, but basically, I actually failed that. So let's move past that. I can't really give more information about that other than that. And to be fair, I was pretty bad at talking at the time. I remember I did like the first round interviews, so maybe that's the main reason I didn't get through. But anyways, this whole failure thingy just kind of like hit me like, I really need to work hard on my soft skills. Because I think like throughout the high school until up to that moment in first year, I was just average in general. Like I was that one student, you know, those like normal student that just study and just graduated and just don't do any leadership positions or whatever curriculum. That was me. So moving on to second year is that I spent most of my second year focusing on extracurricular activities really, and I think mostly my major subjects. So it's a pretty fun year, I would say, in my second year compared to my third year. I was on the committee for 2 Monash initiatives. They are voluntary based roles. So firstly, I was part of Diverse IT, which is a Monash IT initiative So I was part as the events team, events officer, and I was also part of Monash Visual Thinkers, which I was part of the general committee team. Just a little bit, just slide in as well. Keep in mind, applications for these committees are always done like the semester prior, and I think most clubs always open in the second semester. So if you're first year, just apply during the second semester first year. I think some clubs or initiatives also open first year, and then you start, like let's say first semester, or I think as mentioned, basically you apply in first semester, not first year, first semester, and then sometimes you start in second semester. Some initiatives work that way. Anyways, just keep in mind the ones that you're interested in and just apply when they open it. Don't apply when it's too late, to be honest. And during this period, I also scouted for personal internships with IT focused roles as well. So I find the ones firstly based in Australia, Melbourne, or just Australia in general, but I didn't have much luck because I also didn't know how to look for them properly. Sliding this tip as well, uni career job boards are actually pretty useful, so make sure to check them out. And also, if there's any career fairs or also like club events that have like company sponsors, just go to them and also just get to know what kind of like recruitment they have, because most of them, the companies will introduce about like maybe the internship or graduate programs by then. So check it out. You can also get to know of like how's the company culture like as well, but whether it suits you or not. So that's a really good thing to join and just like attend, in my opinion. Also just networking, to be honest. And to be fair, I didn't manage to pass through, in terms of internship wise, I didn't manage to pass through a business case interview for one of the company, but that's about it. Never heard back. I think I heard back like a rejection, so that's that. During June, July 2019, like the winter break, which I know I do go back to Malaysia for holidays, I remember the Grad career fair happened in KLCC, was it? Yeah, and I was just happened to be in KL, so I just went for it. I do know that they also have like a Melbourne version, like based in Melbourne, like the same Grad career fair, during September-October period, I think. I'm not too sure, don't quote me on this, but they do have one based in Melbourne as well. But I think during the event in July period, I was already there in KL, so I just applied for it. So I was just there asking around for some Malaysian-based internships. And so for one of the big four consulting firms, the lady at the booth was like, oh, you can just give me a resume, you know. And I had some hard copies at the moment, so I just gave her one. And then after a few weeks, I was emailed about the application process, and that's just how I got into advisory territory risk division in a team in a company. Yeah, it's actually anticlimactic if you think about it, but I did my internship. The period was from December 2020 until February 2021. The experience definitely helped me to see how the corporate structure worked, and so got to interact with real life clients as well. I remember being really super excited in like my first week. And then I also got to meet new friends as well that study in Melbourne. So people from Uni MIT, and also folks from Malaysia at the Malaysia campus in Monash. You know, I never got to experience it, so it's also really nice to chat around like with Malaysian people. You know, it just feels good to be back home for those 3 months, in my opinion. And then moving on to third year, I remember COVID got more serious right in 2020 in January-February period, if I'm not wrong. But I remember I went back to Melbourne during late February. It wasn't much of an issue really, so I was just in Melbourne ever since then. I never went back. And then I began my final year study. It's like everyone else, it was all online based. It was conducted all virtually for Monash. I think it's basically through Zoom, long shot. And I also started my 1 year long final year project, which definitely gained me a lot of skills and stories that I can always use in my interviews. I also became the events director at Diversity in terms of my voluntary work-wise. Yeah, I think I'll just also mention it. The main reason I decided not to go back to Malaysia, I remember like a lot of people went back around second semester, I think, because when everybody knew that the lockdown, like the pandemic isn't getting any better, a lot of people just went back. But my main goal of staying was because that I want to get a job in Australia, IT industry based. So yeah, I've been here. That's why I just decided to just finish my studies here in Melbourne, because if any case, I have to be based in Australia, right, if I get a role here. So that's that. And although it's really hard to finish studies online, in my opinion. And my first semester last year was like a train wreck. But honestly, I just kept saying like my sanity was just there because I pushed through my close friend group. Like my close friend group that really helped me, or like we helped each other a lot in terms of like putting through together, like having motivation to actually finish uni, and we graduated. So yay! Oh my gosh, I hate my glasses. In terms of job hunting or life after graduation, throughout 2020, I applied for eligible graduate programs. So like if there's some international students or any extra conditions they might have, that's my phone notification. Basically anything that's eligible, I just kind of apply for it. And for Australian wise, the concept is that you apply for graduate programs in your final year. So let's say I was about to graduate in 2020 and I'm going to start in 2021. Applications for graduate programs that starts for work for 2021 are already open in 2020. So always keep in mind that you have to actually apply for graduate programs while you're still studying. I think that's a really good thing to take note about. But there are also positions that open. Let's say if it's just like a direct entry level positions, you can still apply it definitely after graduation. Or some companies, I think they also, like let's say they open in the first half year of 2021 and then they're looking for graduates to start work at the second half of 2021. Yeah, after graduation then you can still apply for those as well, but it'll be less. I think most graduate programs, the main ones really open always like the year in your final year. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to apply for graduate programs here in Australia. But yeah, long shot, I didn't really have much success. I remember being through like the fourth round, like you know those like 4 or 5. I've been through like 4 or 5 Zoom interviews, assessment centers as well. But yeah, not much success. After graduation, I continued being jobless till late May 2021, like this year. Basically, I had like 6 months of idle time. But I recently got hired, so I'm really grateful for the company for choosing me, and also my family friends, as they've always been there to support me, like emotionally and financially as well. But I think in total, if you include like internships, because some internships you can become like graduate roles, so I'm just going to include that. Graduate programs, also entry-level jobs, I think it's a close of 100 applications I did. So yeah, it's not just, you know, applying then you get it. You actually have to like work hard. And I'll just like mention some personal tips for job search. I'll just like say out loud. First and foremost, apply for the roles that you can. Although it may not be relevant to your major, like, but if it's still degree relevant or like skills relevant, just apply for it. Like if there's like 10 key selection criteria, you can hit around like 5, 6. And like once you think you definitely know that you can learn on the job, just apply for it as well. You might not know if you can get it as well. So you know what, luck, you know, it might be just a luck thing sometimes. And who knows, maybe your personality really shines and the company really wants you. So that's that. And also secondly, apply for any companies really for international students wise. Like from small like startups or to large firms, just apply all of them. Because for international students, there's really not many placements that you can apply in the first place. So if you see one, just apply for it. As long as the work wise, just apply for it really. And thirdly, when job search burnout occurs, take a break. Like personally, I didn't have many major breaks ever since I remember for uni. Summer, I did a summer unit and then I started working for internship, right? So I didn't have a proper break really. And then for SPM is that for even Malaysia, back in Malaysia, is that SPM will afterwards like finish around December or November, right? And then in January next year I started studying for my Australian matriculation. So during this 6-month period out of unemployment, I also actually took some time off really to just think what I actually want to do. Like, do I want to go back Malaysia or do I actually want to stay in the IT industry in general? I mean, I personally really like IT, so that's why I found an IT role. But who knows, some people might change. It really depends on your personal preference. And fourthly, know resources where to apply, like LinkedIn, Seek, Indeed, uni job boards. are really good resources. Personally, for my case, is that I found a role through LinkedIn. Like, it was a help desk role, but then when I was on the company's job page, I realized that it wasn't really suitable for me. And then I just looked at the job page of the company that I was into it, and then I found like the associate developer role. I was like, oh, it's more relevant to my skill sets. I think that I can actually do it, and boom, I actually managed to land a job there. So it really depends on your luck, I reckon, sometimes in job search. Like, I did not expect, like, it was just out of the blue. One day they're like, oh, you passed through this, like, you get like an invitation to this job interview. So I just did it, and then yeah, I'm here now. Fifth is connections. I personally also don't have much experience in this, but I do know friends that manage to get roles through networking. My networking skills are not on par. Then, like, my networking skills are really just like, and you know, third year in online environment doesn't really help. So yeah, but I know that a lot of people get jobs here. International student or whoever actually get jobs through networking is a big thing here. So make sure you use it. Sixth tip is don't compare yourself to others. Definitely. Like, don't compare yourself to domestic students or those really top star achieving international students. Like, you know, those like 4.0 GPA. Yeah, don't really compare yourself to them, because it just low-key blows your self-esteem down, really. And remember that everyone's different. Like, everyone has different circumstances, so don't feel bad, like, even not on par with them. Just do you, and then just try your best to get it. Like, do your best. Adding the sixth and the last tip, I'll give the most cliche one. Everyone just says it. Don't give up, keep trying. But really, don't give up, keep trying. Like, always think positive and attract good vibes, because you need to always have a positive mindset to go through the job interview process to do well anyway. So making sure that you're always in a good state of mind is also really important. And here's some of my uni afterwards. It's not really much, to be honest, with this part. So I think for firstly is that most of my close uni friends here are domestic students, actually, like with Asian ethnicity, with Asian cultural background. I'm just gonna put it out there. I can't pronounce English right now. So my personal take is that don't be afraid to talk to other international students as well, like from different countries. Like, say, I have friends from China, India, also Singaporeans as well. And yeah, just don't be too comfortable. Don't be too comfortable in your own social circle. Personally, I only mingle around Malaysians in my second year. So, and then I know that I think a lot of people have this issue. Personally, I didn't really have it, but I do know some friends that are not really confident in their English. There's English Connect and Monash that offer support and services that might help. And I know pretty much, I think the services are free, so just use it as a Monash student, really. And secondly is volunteer when you can. The most important is like you bring back to the society, basically, in my opinion, which is always a really good plus point. And you can make new friends and also learn new skills and knowledge. In terms of like not just knowing your friends in the IT space, at least from my perspective, you also get to know, like, maybe people did arts or commerce, like everyone's a little bit different, or like maybe they do law, medicine, medical, biotechnic, I don't know, but getting to know like people from different backgrounds and listen to how they actually work in life is also pretty interesting in my opinion. So when you volunteer, you get to know different people, so it's really cool in my opinion. Just get to know more people and also get to know more about the Melbourne culture in general. And thirdly, I think ever since I came here, I became more open-minded. Not to say I was closed-minded initially, but I became more open-minded, definitely. Like, even though the cultural difference initially was really shocking, but I accepted it bit by bit. And personally, this is really my own personal take. I like how Australia is more accepting in terms of the LGBTIQ+ community, and also mental health in general. Like, it's more talked about. It's more like, if you really need help, there's actually really good support and services there for you to use. So that's my personal take of like some plus points why I prefer Australia in terms of like culturally wise. But yeah, I think that's all for the video. Like I said, I won't really make like another video about my personal life in this channel, but if there are any questions, feel free to like comment down below, and I'll try to reply as best as I can in terms of like whether I have time or not. And yeah, hopefully this video also helps anyone like a little bit, even though it may not be too much, just a good insight of like how, like, you know, life as international student is as well. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, and bye bye.